Our most popular video thus far has been the 5 worst cities in America for blacks. And one of the biggest requests that we have gotten this far is to do a 5 worst cities based on region. By popular demand, I am here to give you the 5 worst cities in America for blacks by region. For this short series, we will start with the East Coast. Hi, my name is Jarrett and welcome to The 5, where we share 5 interesting things in black culture and society in every episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notified when we release new videos. Just to make it clear, I read the comments. I am not picking these cities based on my personal opinion. These lists were created after doing tons of research from publications like 24/7 Wall Street and Forbes. They are purely a reflection of how blacks are doing economically. So they cover issues like home ownership, median income, and employment stats. The metro areas that qualified for this list had to have at least a 5% black population. These lists vary from year to year as stats change. We are using the most recent list that we have. And not surprisingly, the same cities make it on this list again and again. So let's start with the 5th worst city and let's go down the list. At number 5, Atlantic City, New Jersey. This coastal city, known for its casinos and boardwalks, has a 44% black population. The black population has an unemployment rate of above 16%, while the white population is at about 10%. The racial unemployment gap in Atlantic City is much closer than in other cities on the list. However, the black median income is $31,000, which is only 47.3% of what the white population earns. Only 13% of black adults in Atlantic City have a bachelor's degree. Not surprisingly, the home ownership for blacks is at 39%, while it's 76% for whites. About 23% of the population in Atlantic City lives below the poverty line. Number 4, Syracuse, New York. Syracuse is the 5th most populated city in the state of New York and has a 30% black population. Over the past decade, Syracuse has faced economic challenges that included losing industrial jobs that were once the backbone of the local economy. The unemployment rate for blacks here is almost triple that of whites and sits at 15%. The black median income is only $30,362, which is 50% of white income. The home ownership rate is only 28% for blacks, but 72% for whites. Nearly 40% of black residents in Syracuse live below the poverty line, in comparison to 11% of the white population. Number 3, Rochester, New York. The birthplace of some of America's most iconic brands such as Kodak, Xerox, Western Union is home to a black population that makes up about 40% of the city. The unemployment rate for blacks here is again triple the rate of whites at 15%. Following that trend, the black home ownership rate sits at 32%, while it's at 73% for whites. In Rochester, 78.4% of black adults have a high school diploma, 14 percentage points below the 92.4% white rate, one of the largest gaps in the country. 35% of black residents live under the poverty line in Rochester, which is 10% higher than the nationwide rate for blacks. At number 2, Trenton, New Jersey. New Jersey's capital city is majority black and was once a major manufacturing center. The unemployment rate for blacks in Trenton is 16%, which is more than twice that of whites. Although the median household income in Trenton is higher for blacks compared to other cities on this list, it is still less than half of the median income for a white household. Nationally, the black college attainment rate is 20%, but in Trenton it sits at only 18%. And at the number 1 spot, the worst city on the East Coast for blacks, Elmira, New York. Elmira is not really known for its black population, and that's because only 12% of the population here is black. But it landed at the number 1 spot worst city in the East Coast for blacks because of the gaps in socio-economic outcomes between blacks and whites are among the largest in the country. The median black household income in Elmira is only $22,000, while the white household income is $51,000 annually. The home ownership rate is only 22% for blacks, while it's at 72% for whites. The black unemployment rate is at 16%, while it is at 5% for whites. I know you guys have a lot to say about our 5 worst cities on the East Coast. Let us know in the comments if you live in one of these cities or you feel like your city should have been on the list. We would love to hear from you. Next up is the South, on our short series of the worst cities in America for blacks. That's it for this episode of The 5. We'll be back with another episode on black culture and society.